Welcome to a couple of bunkies. A couple weeks ago, we shared a video on which we made this beautiful table that's in the background right here. We had enough legs for one more table, so I decided to make a 8-foot miter saw table. I started off making the frame of the table with some 2x4s. I countersink the butt joints and use 3-inch screws in each of the corners. After the corners were put together, I used a router and a rabbeting router bit in order to make a rabbet on the inner side of the table. This will make a nice sturdy ledge where I can put melamine board left over from our kitchen remodel. After the rabbet groove is made, I start taking some melamine board. I use a tape measure and measure the dimensions within the rabbet, and then cut the melamine board to those dimensions. Now I'm using a bunch of scrap pieces and odds and ends, so this is going to be a pretty jumbled together project. But as I always say, it's good enough for who it's for. So I cut the 3 panels to fit the inner rabbet of this table, and I attached the melamine top with the frame with wood screws. After the tabletop is secure, I flip the table over and attach the metal frame. There are a ton of these small screws, so I'll try to make this quick. I take the folding legs and attach it to the 2x4s, using the hardware that I had from the old table. Now it turns out, if you attach the table just like this, the legs will not be at a 90. You actually have to have a 3/4 inch block in order to set at the bottom of the table in order to make up for the little bit of difference between where the table leg is setting and where the table attaches. But I'm going to learn that the hard way. I'm going to go ahead and proceed and move this table. So I'm going to go ahead and make these modifications to make it into a miter saw table. I'm going to go ahead and do a drawing in ViaCAD real quick to help show what I'm trying to do. So initially I wanted to lower the center portion of the table, so then I could have the upper portion that I could operate the miter saw, as I show in this drawing. But honestly, this ended up being a terrible idea. When I tried to move the arm of the miter saw, it would end up getting hit by the 2 outer edges. And the foldable legs did not go down all the way. So I had to reverse the design. So I had 2 raised portions, and the legs could be closed. Okay, so now that I have a plan, I go ahead and start removing the 2 portions that I need in order to make this modification. I also have to remove these screws here in order to detach the frame from the legs. Now, I had mentioned earlier that I needed to add a 1/4 inch to the bottom of this table in order for the legs to be at a 90-degree angle. So I cut this shim for both sides of the table, and I used pocket holes to attach it to the frame. Now I take some 2x4s, measure and cut them to the size of the rabbeted portion that I had made on the outer frame, and attach them with 2.5-inch screws. I used the melamine sheet for the top of the table and attached it to the 2x4s I had prepared earlier. Now I repeat the same steps for the other side. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. and consider ringing the bell icon to get notifications on upcoming videos. And here is the final product. I gotta say, I absolutely love having a miter table that really doesn't take up a whole lot of space, that I can basically have it hanging up on the wall, open it up, set it up within minutes, and start cutting. And the table itself is designed to support the material in order to make sure that I have nice and accurate cuts. Right now I'm handling 8-foot wall panels and having no issue with this large load, even able to manage several cuts at the same time. We set up this miter table over a year ago. It helps me handle larger pieces of wood that would normally give me trouble handling on the table saw. All in all, it seems to be a really good addition to our shop. And remember, if you like this video, please like and subscribe.